roots, things that are dug out of the ground and made into perfume. We'll play a game of spot the difference, I think.
Oh, great.
We'll do the 3 strip test.
Oh, great.
Thank you, Arthur. I was thinking about the difference between speaking British English and American English and earlier, and how difficult it is to tell sometimes whether the British are serious.
You'll never know.
Sort of got to assume.
I think people tend to just, their default with me is that they tend to think I'm being sarcastic. But I don't think I am.
No, that's the thing. I think a lot of the time that we say things in a humorous manner that we totally, completely mean, but we expect people to laugh at them while we're saying it. Right, so I'm just getting... Okay, covered in Oris, Arthur. Covered in Oris.
Yeah. Saw a wonderful film last night.
I know, because you went with Paco and he told me you went
to
see. I want to see that because I actually met the author when he won the Guardian's literary prize way back when I worked there.
Ooh, Yorgos Lanthimos? No, is it based on a book?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah, Alistair Gray wrote it.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
No, because it's such a long time. It's like 30 years since for it to be made into a film. Everyone's like, no, I read the book. I've probably got first edition somewhere at home. Yes, he won the first ever Guardian Literary Prize.
Wow.
I was at the party. And Beryl Bainbridge got drunk and hid under a table. It's a proper lunchtime party.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of thing, right? So
Okay.
what I'm asking you to do, Arthur, is which is the odd one out?
Yeah.
And also, so these are Oris.
Yes.
And Oris is the root of the...
Of all evil.
Well, it costs a lot of money. No, evil is the root of all evil.
Yes, well, I know the answer to this.
Do you? And one of them, but do you know which one's natural and which one's synthetic?
I think I do.
Okay.
Do you want me to discuss my working?
Yes, please.
So you've labelled them 1, 2 and 3.
I've labelled them 1, 2 and 3, yes.
1 is the odd one out.
It is.
1 is incredibly Orisy and incredibly clean.
Yes.
2 and 3 are a lot earthier and a lot more muddy. They've got a bit of dirt in them.
Yeah.
So I will deduce that 1 is synthetic and 2 and 3 are natural.
You're wasted on acting, Arthur. You should be a perfumer. You are absolutely correct. That the one in number 1, I dipped one of those, and that's Oris Živko, which is so perfectly Orisy that you can scarcely believe. But it's only then when you smell the natural you think, oh, actually, there's something just... If I say grounded, that sounds like I'm being a bit silly because they come out of the ground, but...
Well, what it makes me think, actually, is that Oris Živko is the idea of Oris. It's the
AI Oris.
Yeah, it's like the perfect... It's like the magical imagined Oris.
Yeah.
Whereas the reality is, as with most things, less.
Warts and all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Though I do think I prefer the natural.
Yes.
It was just more interesting.
Yes. When Claire was here and we made Hush Hush, she much preferred the synthetic. The straight beauty of it.
I mean, it's gorgeous.
It smells so much more pure.
Yeah, it's properly nice.
Yeah. But Oris is quite weird, and it took me a long, long time to get used to it.
Why is it weird? What do you mean?
Well, it's not that perfumey.
No.
It doesn't smell like a flower. It does smell like it's just been dug up. It smells a little bit carroty. It has things in it which are also in carrots.
Right.
You know, it does that beetroot thing going on. Things that have been taken from the earth.
It does have the natural smells. Yeah. If you were to tell me that the natural was beetroot, I would
Not be
say
surprised.
Yeah. But you know what they say, you can't beat a root.
Well, they do now, Arthur. They do.
I can't. It doesn't immediately spring out. Like it's especially the Jivco. It's like a lovely thing to smell in its own right, but it doesn't immediately hit me as apparent of where it would fit into a perfume.
And not everybody likes perfumes that have orris in them. Right? So a lot of people think that they do, but then they smell it and they think, ooh, that's weird. But the smell of an iris, so it's from the iris plant, usually the Florentine iris. It's from the rhizomes, which are like roots, but they're not. They're halfway between bulbs and roots. But the flowers, the plants grow every year from the rhizomes. If you harvest the rhizomes, because they reproduce, they keep growing, harvest some of them, dry them for years, then they develop the aroma.
Oh, right.
So you can't have them fresh. So one of the reasons it's expensive is because they have to just sit there. It's a lot of investment. If you're going to have an orris farm, you don't get a yield for 5 years. What are you going to do? No.
It's like a whiskey company.
Yeah. And the original powder, body powder, wig powder, that wealthy people spent a lot of money on to keep smelling okay in court, that was ground down orris roots. So that's why people say this has the powdery smell. Is the original smell of powder was actually ground down orris.
Is that what talcum powder is? So is that the smell of talc?
It isn't now because talc is a mineral.
Right.
So talc replaced. Yeah. Talc replaced the. Is it gypsum? Not sure. But that's mined now. The actual talcum powder. So that became the kind of affordable industrial version of what was previously very, very, very expensive.
Because it's just ground up roots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dried, ground up roots. And so early powders and cosmetics and dye-shazzers, what have you, the Guerlain smell is very orrisy. Plus ionones from the violet smell, plus a bit of rose, plus a bit of...
Is that the Parma violet smell?
Yeah, the Parma violet smell is ionones. What makes orris smell is irones. And extracting it, just get it... They're much, much, much more expensive than ionones. Ionones are much easier to produce. Easier, I mean, bigger yield, less expensive. So if you want the smell of an iris flower, you have to take the ionones and irones, add other things back into it so that it actually smells like the flower. Orris is kind of known to come from irises, but it doesn't smell very floral. I think that's what I'm saying when I say it's weird.
Yeah. Is it used in cooking?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
No, unless you want to make... I mean, I guess, things like violet liqueurs, they're made from added
Orris root.
ionones.
Oh, right, yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be too expensive, actually. But there are very few violet flowers that actually smell. The ones in my garden do. I get, when they finally turn up, I'm just like down on my knees sniffing the violets. This, though, which you kindly got the lid off, now that you've smelt the orris, it's worth having a little sniff of this, because this is a tincture of orris powder.
Of the root itself?
Of the root itself. Somebody gave me some orris root about 10 years ago. I stuck it in a jar and waited to see if anything happened.
So this is about 10 years, is it?
Well, we definitely had it 4.5 years, because I did this in the Acton building and we brought it with us.
Oh, wow! When you get past the alcohol.
Yeah. It's there, Because I can't use this because unless I get it analysed and find out exactly how much there is in there. I couldn't get a safety data sheet for it. So, as in previous film where we're talking about to people who don't follow regulations, they do tinctures of all kinds of stuff. If you follow regulations, you can't.
Wow, that's
It's there, isn't it?
very much so.
It's taken a long time.
It's very woody.
Yeah. Yes. It smells almost a little bit toasty, a bit sesame seedy to me.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So, yeah, it was worth doing sometimes.
It's not a million miles away from the Oris, though.
No. But it'll have much lower level of actual irones in it than the Oris butter that I have, which is 8% irones.
Wow.
So, okay. Cool. So, now, next, I will... I'll spray this. Because I made this with proper Oris butter and other things. This is a fragrance actually called Scenthusiasm, which I made on a day out, well, for a day out with the Hendrix gin people, because they needed to know what the botanicals in their gin smells like. And this smells just like Hendrix gin.
It does, really does.
Yeah.
Like it really does. It makes me feel hungover.
Sorry. Yeah. So the botanicals in it are rose, orris, cucumber, lemon, orange, coriander. You definitely get the coriander less. And I'm missing a couple. Juniper. And I think I missed out yarrow.
Juniper's the only thing it needs, isn't it, to be gin?
Yeah.
Otherwise it's just vodka.
Yeah. Well, otherwise it's just perfume as alcohol.
Right, yeah.
I mean, almost. And we get the same. We get organic grain alcohol, which is used to make gin. It's just with the Bitrex in it, so you can't drink it while we're on.
I mean, it's extremely accurate. If you want to go around smelling like a gin and tonic.
You do. You know, my almost got famous story about that. But we were running the summer school. And we had this lovely woman in called Debs. And Debs said, "Oh, that's my daughter's favourite drink. I'll get her some." And she called her daughter and said, "Oh, I found this marvellous thing. It's a perfume. It smells just like Hendrix gin. I thought you'd love it." Oh. And it turns out her daughter the previous evening had drank 6 Hendrix gins, and then some oysters didn't agree with her, and she was never going to drink Hendrix gin again. And her daughter is Florence Pugh.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So, had Florence Pugh been wearing Scenthusiasm perfume, I might have been featured in Vogue.
Yeah, wow.
But, you know, I'm not. These things happen in real life.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I just sprayed? Okay, so that's Cloud's Illusion.
Yeah.
Which is actually made with the Oris Jivko. Whereas Clouds... So you see, once it's in...
That is so nice.
There's a lot going on there. So Cloud's Illusion is the one...
Oh yeah, it's really nice.
Which I just made a new batch of it because I had so many requests, which is nice. So we made both sides of Clouds, complicated shadows. So now you've smelt the Oris, it's easier to know. You can feel it where it fits.
Yeah.
But you probably couldn't smell it by itself if you weren't aiming for it. So I've taken to using it in things, but it took me about 5 years before I put it in anything because I just couldn't see how. Okay, another root.
Yes. Another test.
Yeah.
I'm going to look elsewhere.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Sadly, the camera can't.
No. Well, the camera can spot me doing it. Anyone who's listening to this and can't actually see, I'm dipping sticks in bottles.
Yeah, it's gone very quiet, hasn't it? We should really be talking while we're...
I was thinking that's not really fair
Radio silence.
on the people who listen to this and do not watch it. But we just dipped some strips into bottles. We should have said that we did that earlier. Okay, I'm going to hand Arthur
I'll probably
3
cut.
strips.
I'll probably cut all that silent bit.
This should be. Well, no, because I'm
Damn
walking.
it! I can see. I can see the difference because
How?
I can see the colour on the strips.
They're coloured.
So I need to
One's coloured.
look. You see that one's ever so
yeah.
slightly different colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them around in my hands,
Yeah.
and now I have no idea,
Right.
and I'm going to look at them.
Yeah. You're right. I hadn't even noticed that.
No, but it's so.
That's all very well. Me talking about, you know. This
Oh
is what
wow,
people
this is
can
more
see.
difficult.
Yes.
But I've done it. I've done it.
So these are vetivers.
Yeah.
And you'll know if you've done it because you can actually look at the colour.
Yeah. Well, I'm still not looking.
Okay. But when you've decided,
Yeah. That's the odd one out. No, you haven't
you see,
done
I can only tell by the
Yeah,
end
it
of the
is.
strip. Yes, it is. It's the one with the
it is.
least point of all the things that no point.
So
But that is a lot harder.
but the odd one out is a real feast.
Yes.
And the odd one out, I think, is a special vetiver.
Mhm.
I think it is a special vetiver. Is it the one that you got with the mitiata?
It's actually not that one. That one's here. Where I've got these are 2 that I got from Payon Bertrand, and one is a Java vetiver. So that the Javanese one, that's the one that's got everything going on. That's
Oh, I remember when they sent you the sample of that.
yeah. We diluted them. I got
Is that the sample?
That is the sample, and
To be fair, what you're doing is the equivalent of trying to rip a yellow pages in half.
it's not. The others come out. Right. All right. If I did the example and the other ones I got, they just come out tennis to go, and we'll all be fine, and I will be happy. Right. So the lighter, cleaner one that doesn't seem to have a lot going on and doesn't have all the colour to it, that is a molecular distillation. So that has been effectively cleaned up. So it has been processed so that after the essential oil has been extracted from the vetiver roots, then some of the more deep sludgy parts, some of the molecules that make it feel a little bit less clean are then taken away. Of course, we like the dirty bits.
Yes, however, the more I smell this molecular one, it's really classy.
Yes. It's I would say it's easier to make something beautiful with it.
Yeah.
The Java is kind of like, yes, this is all about the vetiver. This is about me, Mr. Smoky.
But yeah, the molecular distillation is.
It has a purity going for it,
Yeah, it's really nice.
and that's kind of what's happening in the world of essential oils. Is the specialists aren't just distilling them; they're taking them and doing something extra to them to make them their own, so you have to buy them from them in order to get that particular one. This is the Indian one. I'm now getting a vetiver overwhelm.
Wow. I mean, it's.
So the one that I have from the new one that smells nutty, the sort of sesame seed
Java.
one.
Uh,
No, it's not Malawi. I'm going nuts. Anyway, the new one that came from Africa. That's one that's harvested. They only harvest half of the roots at one time, and so it's not all pulled out of the ground. Because one of the problems with vetiver, let us be a bit truthful about this, is that people say, oh, vetiver is lovely, it preserves the soil, it prevents soil erosion. Yeah, until you pull it out the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out of the ground, the soil erodes. So it's unsustainable. It's natural, but it's not always sustainable. If it's grown and harvested quickly, and then people just move on to another bit of land, leaving devastation behind them and all the mud to grow off into the rivers and the rivers to sludge up. Not thinking it through. This new one that I bought is harvested in a different way, which is leave half the roots in the ground, take some of the plant out, replant, the roots regrow, and where you can get another bit of plant, rather than taking the whole thing out and just starting the process all over again. So, but yeah, this one, which we like best, I think. I mean, the Java is the deepest, smokiest, richest. The processed and Indian one, I wouldn't say.
I mean, the Javanese one is. I mean, you can't ever not smell it. Like the other ones, I've lost the smell of them a little.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm going to go for subtlety here for the first time possibly ever. I think I like the molecular distillation one the best. I think it's just, yeah. When you really get down to it, it's really special.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you this then. Here's one I made earlier.
And it's called Please Feel Free to Wear It.
It's called Please Feel Free to Wear It, because that was in an exhibition about breathing. It was in a celebration of breath, and it's called Saltbur Driftwood. But it was, you could smell it out of one of our big vases, but I wanted to make sure that people knew that it was real. And in fact, somebody came in, having smelt it at the event, somebody came in here a couple of weeks ago to buy it. And Saltbur Driftwood is the smell of somebody attempting to light a bonfire out of driftwood, which is very difficult because it's generally a bit damp, in Saltburn, which is where I was born. Lots of people born in Saltburn, because everyone in the area was born in Saltburn, because that's where the maternity home was.
Well, some would say everyone who was born in Saltburn was born in Saltburn.
Yeah, but people who lived in the area who don't, well, it's not on that. My birth certificate says Redcar, because that's where the family was raised. But everybody went to Saltburn to get born, and then went back to where they lived in the surrounding areas. So lots of people were born in Saltburn, didn't live there.
Yeah, it's very nice on the skin, isn't it?
It is. I wear it all through summer. It's a bit too cool for me to wear in this kind of weather. -5, Arthur, -5.
Is that what it is?
Well, it was at night. It's going to be -5 tonight as well. But I have 3 duvets. And I wear them all at once.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't mind. And, did you just see that?
No.
Okay. Why am I spraying 3? I keep doing 3 because I was doing the test earlier. Also from my imaginary friend. Don't have any real ones.
No, come on, I'm your real friend. There you go.
Alright.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, no, you are, but you're here. It's the third one's my imaginary friend. Thank you. I like being your friend, thank you.
They're not your friend.
Okay, no.
They just told me.
Okay. This was really mean.
Okay.
Said the dead body from the lift.
Good dead body.
Oh, you're a great dead body.
Have you seen it all? Have you seen the whole series?
No, I've seen the first 3. I was saving bits of it. So I've seen where you're alive with Lee in the van having on the video, and I've seen the bit where you were tickling your sister.
I don't remember that bit.
That's episode
I haven't
2.
watched it yet, but yeah.
You haven't looked at it, where she turns up. You must have filmed it because you were in it. But there's a video on a phone. Says of you, and she says, "Stop tickling."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Arthur's been acting in a thing. We've been watching him on ITV, and it's very exciting.
I'm very much alive in episode 6, so it's that to look forward to. Very much alive.
Great. But it's either a ghost story or it's a flashback then, so wouldn't bother that.
It's
do you know
what happened.
Oh right, well we need to find out.
Yeah. I don't know what this is.
It's burnt cedar rainbow doves.
Oh well, I don't know that very well.
But
it's not one I know very well.
But it's if I want a sort of firewood note, you can go straight for the.
You go straight for oh my god, white birch.
Spot on, Arthur. Yeah, the birch tar thing, the white birch, because that's almost too burnt. There's a tiny drop of that, but for just gently singed the next morning's fireplace after you had a real fire, that I would go for Vetiver, the Javanese version generally.
This is very nice, isn't it?
Thank you. So this is in honour of Lord Berners, who turned up as Lord Merlin in The Pursuit of Love, who had all the best parties in the 1920s and 30s and had cedar bonfires in his garden. So I used Vetiver for that. So that's the exploration of roots. I would do Angelica, but it hasn't arrived yet, and that's completely different anyway.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to smelling that.
Okay, next week.